Welcome to the EarthWorks podcast, where our team will share the jargon of carbon with many of our turf friends that we've met over the past 35 plus years.
Hello and welcome to the EarthWorks podcast. That's right, you got me, Jack Higgins, and I am out here at the most famous lawn in America, the home of our buddy Olee Poole.
What's up, man?
What's up? The Olee Poole, the Fescue freak.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and I also got to say the most beautiful lawn in America.
Most beautiful fescue lawn in America.
Why do we call it the most famous lawn in America? You've got the Fescue Freaks Facebook group.
Yes, sir. The group's doing good. We're educating a lot of people, teaching them about, building soil, soil health, quality products such as the EarthWorks for home.
How many people are in this group?
It's almost 17,000.
Yeah,
it's getting real close to 17,000.
17,000 people.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. When did you start it?
I think 3 years ago. I'd have to look and see. It might be 4.
So, man, you're building soil, growing a 3-acre fescue lawn, and growing a whole community of fescue freaks.
Yes, we're building the fescue freak community, educating them. And that's the biggest thing, just like what y'all do with your 2-minute talks and stuff and
this podcast.
Yes. You educate people, and in that way, they learn, they see a difference, and they honestly get more confident in dealing with people,
Yeah. Well, what are some of the common questions that you get? Like what are some of the things that you hear about, or how do you field questions in the group?
Well, a lot of questions in the group here lately, a lot of questions is like, when can I apply C3? What timing wise, when, how? So that is some of the questions.
Okay.
A lot of people are interested in the Protein Plus.
All right. The 1405 with all the traces.
Yes, sir.
I mean, so like a lot of what we want to do in this talk is kind of talk about your program, what your experience has been. But also, I mean, what you're doing with your outreach, which you do a lot of. You've got this Facebook group, you do Instagram reels, YouTube videos. Like, I know you've got an Instagram reel. How many millions have seen, like, your highest grossing one?
Probably 15, 16 million views.
Yes. Yeah, your drone mower videos. Also, the one where you did the sod work with the micro replenish, that's got like 10 million views.
It done real well, and we're going to be doing more of that. Sod cutting, sod repair with all the irrigation that's going in.
Okay.
And every bit of the sod that is cut is going to be saved, and every bit of it will be fed with 333 before it's flipped back over on the dirt.
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Well, let's talk what you got going on here. Fill everyone in kind of from the top. You've got a nice homestead here, where you got a 3-acre pure stand of turf type tall fescue.
Yes, sir. Pushing about 100, maybe 140,000 square feet. So just over 3 acres of actual turf.
Okay.
That's treated and mowed.
Jeez.
So, it's been a heck of a learning curve since we've started talking years ago.
Yeah, you and I started in 2019.
Yes, sir. And we have turned, like, this 1 acre field here is amazing. It has turned around compared to what it was July 2019. It was burnt to pieces and patchy and would not make it through the summer because it was so dry. There was no organic material. There was no
holding capacity,
no moisture holding capacity, nothing.
Yeah, you talk about like that the soil here at your place is kind of different than what you'd expect. Like, you got that Carolina clay that's predominant through this whole area, but that's not what you have here.
No, because normally when you talk to someone, say, yeah, I'm from North Carolina, they go, oh, you got that red brick clay.
Right, exactly.
That's not what's here. That's not what's here. This is a real gritty, a super gritty type of soil, real rocky.
Yeah,
because we're close to a lot of quarries and stuff.
Okay. Honestly, that's better for turf.
I've actually learned that it is.
Yeah,
I've actually learned
because you have porosity. And you can build organic matter into that porosity, and not input organic matter, build organic matter.
Yes, sir.
That's one that I remember that's something that we started talking about a long time ago. And I've heard you like kind of repeat and talk to other people about building soil.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you kind of remind me of like, take it easy, because actually it's better to build soil, not import soil.
Well, that was my first thing when I bought this place. I didn't think nothing about it. I was super happy to have a home, you know. And I got to thinking after I got into the yard game, I was like, I should have bought a place with better dirt.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because that's what you're buying, man. You're buying land.
Man, it sucks, and I started pricing top dressing. I started pricing compost, all these other things. And I actually bought a top dresser.
That's right.
The best thing I ever done was sell it.
It was like a big compost thrower, right? Yeah.
Best thing I ever done was sell it, start top dressing with the 333.
Okay.
And through the year using the 822, because with the 822 you still getting compost.
That's right.
Although you're getting a little
ammonium sulfate too.
A little pop for good color, quickness. And then you, like I say, every application with your push spreader or your bag spreader, wherever you got.
That's right. Something easy to do. Any spreader you've got. You don't need a $2,000 compost spreader.
No. Probably more like a $7,000, $8,000 compost spreader.
Holy man.
So yeah, you don't need any special equipment. And that is the best thing about using the granulated stuff. No special equipment. Anybody can top dress their place.
Well, that's the other thing that like you learn quite a bit, is that like you do everything you can as economically as possible too, like you do everything because you have to. You've got a huge property. You want it to have a big property, and you want it to all be nice. So, but it's hard to treat 3 acres. So you kind of have to dial in something that is economical for money and for time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anyway, you kind of got away from, you realize I need to get away from this throwing compost and importing a soil. Like I need to build a soil.
That's not affordable at all.
It's not affordable. Okay. So you got going with the 333, and what most importantly, you got turf established.
Yes, sir.
All right. What are you doing? You taking a little weed ID?
Look at this thing. It's something to do with it's like it's variegated.
It is variegated. You know what I think it is?
Please tell me.
I think that we went by an old miscanthus plant.
Oh.
Like an old, what was on this property before?
Mainly dandelions.
Okay.
Mainly then who dandelions knows what it was? And them 5 blueberry bushes right there, and they are phenomenal.
Who knows what it was? Well, anyway, what I'm saying is that you got turf established, and you used turf and activating soil microbes to work together to build topsoil.
Yes,
that's
sir.
how you've grown organic matter in this ground, not by importing it, but by actually building it on site.
Growing turf, not bagging, returning clippings.
Well, it's
root cycling, the whole 9 yards.
That's the big one. The root cycling and which is all done through the photosynthesis, the root exudates, the pumping photosynthetic energy down through the phloem, out the root system, feeding soil microbes, building humus, and doing that through all the surface area of a big root system, good big roots. That's what you've done here. And I know you've seen it on your soil test that you grow organic matter.
Oh yeah. Not only see it on the soil test, but I've done a lot of planting trees, planting shrubs, and doing things as times went on. And when I dig in this ground, I see a difference in color.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah.
You can see the difference in color. The other thing is that you handle the droughty seasons very well. You said
night and day.
Okay, that's a big one for you?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That was the biggest struggle. Like I say, when me and you started talking in 2019, I had overseeded this 1 acre field behind us, and it did not like the first year. It would not hold any moisture. And what I've seen over the years is with those applications of 822 and 333, I have seen it hold moisture better and better.
Yeah, that's the key. That's it. Dude, the other thing I think that's so cool about what you do is you don't use pre-emergent.
No, sir.
Yeah.
I mean, it's thick. That's the key though. The thick turf shades out everything.
That's right.
You don't see a ton of poana. You don't see a ton of chickweed. If you had spotty And that's something I had over in that field.
Okay.
Chickweed was terrible because it was so weak. The turf was so weak that the weeds just took over.
And I'm sure in summertime it was crabgrass city.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't struggle with crabgrass neither.
No. Well, what could you get a take in this? I mean, the density of this fescue stand is unreal. Even where you're divoted, you're recovering. You grow back really quick. Yeah. Now you said you picked up some divots in the fall. You think you got hit by a little bit of gray leaf spot?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gray leaf spot is. I figured out. I've learned a lot over the last couple of years, and I figured a lot out. The last thing I got to figure out how to whoop is gray leaf spot.
Okay. Well, I mean, you whoop it good. I mean, you don't use fungicides, or generally don't, right?
Not generally, no, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of one way, or the way is that when you do catch a little bit, you recover so quickly out of it, like you did like you're doing right now.
Yep.
So we're kicking around some clippings. You just took off what looks like about inch of top growth. How long was this interval since you mowed?
Probably 7-8 days.
Okay, that's not bad for right now, dude.
No, I mean, this place rock and rolls. That's the reason, I end the season with 822.
Right. Okay.
I love to use that as what I call a winterizer.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to really do anything because once it comes into spring, this place takes off.
Yes.
And here we are, April. What is it? It's April the 8th, and tomorrow will be my first application of C3 at 5 ounces, Protein Plus at 10 ounces to the 1,000, and that'll be my first nitrogen hit of 2025.
That's right. That's right. And you only plan on doing that once a month.
Every 30 days.
Yeah, trying to keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it accessible to everybody, because you want this, again, your mission is communication.
Yeah.
So like you're doing an outreach, and you want to have a program that's easy and accessible for everyone to use.
Yes. Yep. But now their program in the beginning is going to be a little different because I've been on the program.
Right.
And I've built the soil. So now I'm just set on cruise.
Yeah, you say this is cruise control right now. I mean, you're in maintenance mode.
We're just chilling.
That's good, dude.
Yeah.
So okay, you get your first spray in. You're still riding high on that 822 app from November. You also do the myco and overseed.
Always do the myco, 10 pounds per 1,000 with aeration and overseed.
Yes. Tell me your grow-in program. You've got an excellent kind of grow-in and establishment program for overseed time.
Yes, sir.
So September, when do you?
October normally.
Okay, October you throw your.
I think if you had plenty of water, you probably could do September. But our weather's so crazy, it's still super hot in September.
Okay, got it.
So normally October, aeration, overseed, 333 at 10 pounds per 1,000.
Like it.
If it's a very beginning soil, you might want to get a little more on the 333 if you're, starting fresh. And then once I get germination, 30 days after germination, maybe 40 days after germination.
Okay.
822 at 5 pounds per 1,000.
Love it.
30, 40 days again. 822 at 5.
So the stuff comes up and it's it's already tapped some roots, and you've got like a leaf blade or two. You're giving it some push, and now it's really filling out. And then 30 days later, now it sounds like you're looking at you're almost towards the end of the year, like you're in like the first half of December.
Yeah, that last one will basically be considered like a winterizer.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So really, that's the fall program that we're still seeing right now coming out in the spring.
Yes.
And I know today's April the 8th, we're walking around here, but you sent me some pictures from over a month ago where you were coming out of dormancy.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. When do you tell me about the spring wake up. What did you see? And what was the timing like? I know it kind of happened quick. Like
the first mow, I think, was March 12th, I believe.
Okay.
And it looked a little ratty on top because of the cold. We had a pretty cold winter.
The whole country did, dude.
We had a pretty cold winter. So the top was a little dinged and yellowed up, So the first mow wasn't that wonderful. But boy, by the second one, I think it was March 22.
Okay.
It looked like it does right now.
Yeah.
It was rocking.
It's remarkable.
It was growing enough that I had all the yellow cut off and we were into the, beautiful green.
Yeah, really nice. Well, so let's see. You also, a key thing here that we're looking at too is that, you just mowed tonight, so we were kind of kicking around some clippings.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm noticing is that they're not fat and juicy. Like they're not wet. I know, and we got an
No, look at your shoes. Your shoes are not green.
Yeah, my shoes aren't green. They're not sticky. They're not like they're not sappy.
Mm-mm.
That's a key to this whole thing.
Well, most people get crazy this time of year, and that's something I don't understand. They'll get crazy with the nitrogen in the beginning, and they'll get the plant all fat, sappy, and happy. And that rhymes. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they'll drag that all over, their driveways and everything, and all out in the street.
That's right. You see it track all over the place. Yeah.
But that's sort of setting yourself up for failure. You get it too juicy and too janked up in the beginning. You need it to be taking care of itself, not just jumping out of the ground.
Dude, it sounds like you're speaking from experience.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had plenty of failures.
Well, so have you fallen into that trap?
Yes. And then the other problem is, like I'm telling you, like mine wakes up sort of the spring flush. If I was to do that, I'd have to mow every day and a half, every 2 days.
Yeah, right.
So,
I mean, it's not bad that for the amount of growth that you're having right now and how vigorous this is. You said it was a week since your last mowing.
Yep.
It only grew about an inch of top growth, but man, I mean, it is growing laterally. It is as tight as can be.
Yes, sir. It's like walking on a pillow.
Yeah, dude. But talking about like a sappy fat plant, I remember the first soil test you and I did.
Yeah. Yep. I had a ride-on spreader, and it's fun to get out and spread and to do things. But
I did an ammonium nitrate addition on the soil test that we did, and yeah, I mean, it was over a pound of nitrogen. I think it was like 1.5 pounds of nitrogen that was just sitting there as nitrate.
Yeah. And well, that's the sad part about a lot of your influencers, a lot of your YouTube people. They want you to just hammer it. One thing I have learned with y'all told me from the beginning, as you use the EarthWorks, especially the granulars, you'll use less and less and less.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's crazy. And that is one thing I will say. Y'all have never lied to me. It's been that. I mean, I see it and I believe it.
Yeah, like, well, but and that's kind of like you do a good job at kind of communicating that nuance to the group, because you're like, hey, look, if you're just getting started, you might need to use a little bit more than my exact program here, because I've been on this now for 6 years.
Yes, yeah.
And
but that's like a lot of people are like, you mean to tell me, like several people I've told them, like, you can start the year with 822.
Right.
And then I tell people when I'm doing, they come out and go, oh, hold on a minute. You told me 822. Yes. You're not to the point that I'm at.
There you go.
I'm locked on cruise. You're just starting the race.
Now, you think we talked a lot about your granular applications in the fall, and I really like how you're dialed in on that kind of the program that you have from overseed through to the fall. But you use some 822 the other times a year as well, here and there.
If things look like they need a little something, yes, sir. By all means, yes, sir.
You're another guy that throws the 822 out at like 1/4 pound of nitrogen or less, and you get back to me and you're like, hey, it still gave response. Like I only used it at 3 pounds per thousand this time, and it's still and I'm still seeing it.
Yes, because your normal application is what, 5 to 7 per thousand?
7 is your half pound rate, and we normally recommend half pound rates, where typically every other fertilizer, their standard is kind of 1 pound of nitrogen, or it was.
I don't understand that whole pound of nitrogen. The only way I could see that would be in the fall, when it's cooler and you got a lot of rain and stuff, but I don't see that.
Well, a lot of other fertilizers are relying on like man-made technology.
Yes.
They're like, oh, like we designed this technology that is going to use like plastic coatings, and it's going to break down, per our engineering, it's going to break down at this kind of interval. And it's like, well, we don't have like a man-made design deal. We're working with nature here. Yes. Nature wants high energy carbon, and plants need some good nutrient and mineral, and that's how we get it going.
Well, I will tell you, with you saying that, something I have learned, like when I first looked at the EarthWorks stuff,
Right.
822, 333. I'm like, my God, those MPK numbers are nothing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
what's the deal? And I've learned over the year, when it's more plant available, it doesn't need to be 18, 24, 12 as a starter.
That's right. And
333, well, and that's like me and you've talked before too. Like at one time I was talking to you about how good the color was. And I used a 333 on a bunch of these trees back here planted, these shorter ones.
Right.
And the turf around those trees, because I might have got a little heavy-handed with the 333 on the trees.
Okay.
The turf was insanely dark green. Insane.
Dude. Yeah.
You would have thought I hit it with some kind of crazy iron application, but I did not.
Wow.
And that has really shown me how good that does for color.
Well, we kind of buried the lead on the 333. I mean, the real thing with 333 is the major addition to it is the mycorrhizae.
Yes.
That biology.
Yep.
You know, like, but mycorrhizae is this symbiotic underground fungal system that it basically expands the roots exponentially. So like they're able to access so much more soil, and it allows plants to communicate with each other. So now that arborvitae and that turf plant are interconnected through the mycorrhizal network. And I'm not surprised you see that sort of response, you know, in the nearby areas. It's not just from your overthrow either, you know, it's from them working together.
Well, I can tell you that I have, you know, done some sod stuff here, you know, fixing places, and I used a 333 under any sod and any plant. It don't matter if it's our tomatoes, it don't matter what it is, we use a 333. And I have pulled stuff up, and it's got the hairiest roots you've ever seen.
That's the myco. Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
It is. It's awesome.
It's wild.
Yeah, that is it's OMRI certified. It is the biological starter fertilizer.
Yes,
great for your vegetables, great for all your flowers, and great for your turf.
Great for anything with roots.
Yeah, that's it. Great
tree, shrubs, tomatoes.
Your arborvitae are doing really well.
Yeah, and they get fed. Like you're saying, like overthrow, that's how they get fed.
Wow.
That's how they get fed. Now, there's some shorter ones here that I wouldn't mind maybe doing something special to. Like you see that one ain't quite what the rest is. And then there's a couple back there. And I don't know if that has something to do with runoff, sunlight. I wouldn't say sunlight because I don't really have any shade.
Well, let's do some extra C3 drenches on them this year and see if we can catch them up.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's kind of like, this was a good convo because we got to like really chat out the program, and it's simple. Like
it is very simple.
Yeah, it's simple. It's do everything you can to get the best establishment, you know, and that protocol that you did was excellent. And then keep it going with some monthly apps of liquids, which really only amount to about 6 or 8 times a year. And, you know, some timely 822 apps. And I say apps, really the big one I'd say is like your summer prep.
Yes.
Right. You know, you'll probably get down with like a 1/4 pound of N like in after Memorial Day around that time.
Yeah.
Another 8 weeks from now.
Yep. And basically, I mean, this whole program's super simple. There's four total things.
That's right. 4
C3,
products.
Protein Plus, 333, 822. And if you look at a lot of other people's programs, they got 7, 8,
right,
so many bottles on the shelf. And that's what I love about C3. Everything is in one jug.
Everything's in that jug.
I don't buy everything separate and try to play the mad scientist anymore. It's figured out.
That's nice. Yeah. 5 ounces per 1,000 gallon, 3 ounces per 1,000 even, you know, like this product shows big response.
But that's what I tell everybody, like minimum 3 ounces per 1,000 gallons to acre.
Right.
I've bumped it up a little bit to the 5.
Hey, you don't get to be the most beautiful lawn in America by taking it easy.
The most beautiful fescue lawn in America.
Well, hey, I'm not sure if there's any other prettier lawn, period, dude. Let's be real.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, hold on. Look at this, down this stripe right here. Oh, man.
She's banging. That's with no sun. What is it? It's like almost 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
This is night. What is it? Night moves, night stripes.
Yeah, this is the night stripes. Yeah. Well, So any other cool, innovative stuff you've been doing lately? I've seen some of your Instagrams. What did you have going on with that torch?
I was burning a couple poa seeds, couple poana seeds.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because, if something is composted correctly, the seeds need to reach 160 degrees?
Yeah, 160 degrees.
So hopefully the torch is getting them to 160.
Oh, I think it is.
To where they don't come back next year.
Okay.
So I'm trying to break the cycle.
Ooh, I like that.
Every plant wants to, everything wants to reproduce.
Yes.
So if we can stop the reproduction, we'll be, and keep the seed heads from hitting the ground.
Do you have to do anything on the seed for tall fescue seed heads? Do you see it getting stalky on you?
Something I have learned over the years.
Okay.
And originally, like I bought cheaper varieties, cheaper cultivars of grass seed.
Okay.
What I've learned is the cheaper the grass seed, the more seed head production. And that's why it's cheaper, because it produces seed in abundance.
Get out of here.
Yes. And this stuff here is a higher quality turf type fescue, and you don't see nowhere near the seed head production.
Wow.
No,
what are you using here?
This is Artemis.
Okay.
It's from Heritage, and it's a 4-way blend of Mountain View cultivars.
Okay. It's 4-way blend of Mountain View cultivars.
Mm-hmm. And it's got a good soft feel to it. It footprints. Anything that will footprint like this will stripe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it really does feel great underfoot. Honestly, for the golf community, this is like US Open rough right here. I mean, this is as difficult as it would get for hitting that.
Well, my understanding is it's fairly comfortable, because I seen you laying it a while ago.
You saw that, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I was laying down. I had to get a good feel of it. It's just a beautiful stand of turf, dude.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate all the help, and
and so people might want to join the group. People might want to participate. How do they find you? How do they find
the
us?
Fescue Freaks?
Yeah,
the Fescue Freaks, is on Facebook.
Okay.
I do have a website now, oleepoole.com.
Okay.
And on Instagram and YouTube, just under Olee Poole.
All right. Yo, you should hit like when you apply to the group, how do you have like an application or something to get into the
Yes, it is a private group. That way we want to make sure it's an actual person.
Right.
They have an avatar.
So write a note that says
questions.
Yeah, answer the questions and write a note that says EarthWorks podcast. We'll know that you heard this podcast. And
that'd be wonderful.
Okay.
And be sure to check out EarthWorks for Home and EarthWorks
Turf. Man. We have our own Instagram handles, our own groups. Yeah, that's right. Check out EarthWorks for Home, because that was the big thing that you said that you really pushed to have us. You're like, I want to talk about your stuff, but people need access to it. And that's what EarthWorks for Home is. It's accessible to anybody.
Yep.
You can get on there and get it. 25-pound bags of these products, the 822 and the Myco 333, the C3, the Protein Plus are available in 1-gallon jugs. It's awesome. Yeah, really works out, dude. What did you say your handles were again? Your Instagram handle?
Olee Poole.
Olee Poole. OLEE
POOLE.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And join the Fescue Freaks if you're not already in it. You get a lot of there's a lot of golf course superintendents that tell me that they see your stuff.
We got a little bit of everything. That's the cool thing about the Facebook group.
Uh-huh.
It's not just a DIY group.
Yes.
And it's not just a professional group. It's a mix of both.
Yeah.
And like me, I call myself an extreme DIY.
Okay.
Is what I call myself. With professional tendencies.
Yeah, I'd say that's exactly right.
I have the equipment.
You're a greenkeeper, dude. I mean, you're a full-on greenkeeper at this point.
I think you've called me a super. Well, yeah, you have called me a greenkeeper.
Yeah, greenkeeper. That's what it. I mean, that's what we all. That's a blanket. That's a blanket for all of us. Like,
and I enjoy it. I've learned a lot. And one thing I will say about a DIY enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
They take things deeper than a fella that's out fertilizing, seeding, and cutting yards every day to make money. because you got more time to dig into all the secrets and dig into all the problems and invest a little more time. You know, it's about like, you know, say a framer or a carpenter. He's out all day doing carpenter work. You come to his place and it needs a lot of carpenter work. But somebody that's a DIY or somebody that's enthusiast, their place is going to be cool as everything, extra molding everywhere.
Because this is the hobby. This is the passion.
And they got time to dig and invest and just take it. It's a passion. There's no other way to put it. It's a passion. It's not a job.
Yeah, right. Right. I mean, and you have taken that passion to build the most pure stand of dense turf type tall fescue over an expansive 3-acre area. Yep. I mean, it's really impressive. It's really something to see.
I think the funniest thing is, like, most people see these pictures on Instagram or Facebook.
Right.
They're like, yeah, it's a big property. But whenever they get the visit like you, they go, damn, that's a big property.
Damn, it's a
you
big
get
property.
out here. I mean, it looks, you know, impressive in the pictures, but once you get out here and you look from corner to corner, it's a lot.
Well, because then you start to think about, like, okay, what if I had to mow and fertilize and spray this thing? Like, how am I going to get it done?
Oh, I'll never forget when we were doing this originally, bringing in dirt, digging out stumps, getting this place leveled out. I'll never forget the fella that was helping me. He said, do you really want to mow this much? I'm like, yes, I do. And he just was like shaking his head. I'm like, I love it. And I still love it. I love it.
Oh, dude. Well, when I pulled up here, you were out on the mower. Your daughter was running around, like skipping and kind of like cartwheels and just like really loving the lawn.
Well, that is the reason I bought that acre beside of us. I didn't want anybody super close. I wanted us to have plenty of room to run and play. We got 2 dogs. We got 3 girls. They get out here, kick a soccer ball. They get out here and cut flips and cartwheels.
Oh, dude.
We get out here and chase lightning bugs at, you know, later in the year.
Yeah.
And we don't have to worry about being up on the road or, you know, in anybody's business. We're in our own little place here.
Yeah. Kind of with like your own built-in gymnastics mat, you know.
Well, I think we about have to add a volleyball net back here for too long.
Okay, there you go. Then we're going to start talking about wear areas. All right. I know. Oh, man. Yo, Olee, thanks for the time.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great update. I love talking to you because that passion, man. I mean, your passion is so, you know, infectious. Like, you know, you get me excited. And really, I learn a lot because you've brought me in on your learning process, you know, like, so we get to talk and you try things. Like, we talk about stuff and you try it.
Well, it's like when we first met, I was a pain in your ass probably. And I'll be straight up honest.
No.
But anyway, I was eager to learn, love the products. And that's the reason I push so hard for, like, hey, these homeowners want these same professional products. Now, I would say I probably drug you into our world a little bit.
For sure.
And, you know, that's the cool thing about all the products that are for the pros are now available for the homeowners at convenience of shipping to their door in smaller containers. It's the same exact products. They're not cut. They're not watered. Same thing.
How great is that?
It's wonderful.
Yeah, and you could build this beautiful, you know, pure stand of turf and beautiful landscape, and you can get it done working with the soil, so you know that you're investing in something that's going to last.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. All right.
You can't go wrong with building the soil.
That's right.
Can't go wrong with
it. That's right. Because that's what's going to pay dividends. That's what lasts.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Well, good talk. I appreciate you getting on, and I appreciate you having me out here, the most beautiful fescue lawn in America. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.